Well, alright everybody, so we are back with TEW9, the War of Immortal saves with the WWF Classics. We are here tonight with WWFC Superstars. So this is our final show before we hit King of the Ring. So let's take one quick look at our show from last week. So we had Nick Bockwinkel defeat Akeem in the pre-show match. Then we had Vince and Jesse run down our card. Our first quarterfinal matchup in the King of the Ring, we had Kenta Kobayashi defeat Ken Shamrock. Then we had Ted DiBiase talking about how he says the IC title is just pretty much his, so Lex Luger should just give it to him. Then we had Ted DiBiase defeat Jerry Saggs. We had Larry Zbyszko talk about how he's going to put away Nick Bockwinkel once and for all here in the WWFC. And then we had Larry Zbyszko defeat Gentleman Chris Adams. The fabulous Rougeau brothers dismiss the Road Warriors, saying, you guys are nothing compared to us. We're the fabulous Rougeau brothers, and we are the WWFC Tag Team Champions. Then we had Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, and the Natural Disasters defeat the Honky Tonk Man and the Powers of Pain. Mr. Perfect says, hey, you know what? I'm going to get my Intercontinental title back tonight. Lex Luger, there's nothing you can do about it. And then we had the Rougeaus defeat the Bushwhackers to retain the WWFC Tag Team titles. We had the Ultimate Warrior tell Rick Rude, you know what? This whole feud, it's over with. When we get to King of the Ring, this thing is just done. Then we had Lex Luger defeat Mr. Perfect to retain the Intercontinental title, which got a 90 rated match. Then we had Paul Orndorff talk about, hey, you know what? I'm going to be the King of the Ring, and there's nothing Sergeant Slaughter, Kenta Kobayashi, Rick Martel, or anybody can do. Then we had Jake talk about how he is bringing home the WWFC World Heavyweight Championship at King of the Ring. Then we had the Macho King Randy Savage defeat Jimmy Snuka to retain the title in his last defense before the show. So I am going to go ahead and book our show for tonight, and I will be right back. Hey everybody, so we are back. We have our whole card booked. So let's hop into it with our first pre-show match. In a pre-show bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Dino Bravo defeated Barry Horowitz at 9:51 by pinfall with his side suplex. The crowd heat is expected and simmering. The wrestling rating is a 54. The crowd rating is a 41. The segment got a 58. Dino had a 55. Barry had a 53. Barry Horowitz seemed off his game. The commentary quality lifted it. The color commentary gave it a boost. And Jimmy Hart did good work at ringside. So let's head off to our opener of Jesse and Vince running down our card tonight. Welcome everybody to WWFC Superstars. We are just 2 days away from King of the Ring, and the excitement is at an all-time high. I'm Vince McMahon, alongside Jesse the Body Ventura, and we have an explosive night ahead of us. That's right, McMahon. The King of the Ring tournament is down to the final four, and tonight we find out who's heading to the finals. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff goes one-on-one with the dangerous Kenta Kobayashi. In the final the last semifinals match. And that's just the beginning. Our main event is absolutely stacked. The WWFC World Heavyweight Champion, the Macho King Randy Savage, teams up with Ravishing Rick Rude, and the WWFC World Tag Team Champions, the fabulous Rougeau brothers, to take on the powerhouse team of Jake the Snake Roberts, the Ultimate Warrior, and the Road Warriors. Can you imagine the chaos that's going to unfold in that one? Oh, I can imagine it, McMahon, and I love it. You got Savage and Roberts who are going to tear each other apart inside a steel cage in just 2 days. You got Rude and Warrior with unfinished business, and let's not forget the Road Warriors have been looking to rip the Rougeaus to shreds for weeks now. And it all comes to a head tonight. And if that wasn't enough, we got a huge championship match when the Honky Tonk Man will defend the WWFC World Television Champion. But Jesse, here's the twist. We don't even know who his opponent is tonight. That's right, McMahon. The Honky Tonk Man will defend his will defend against a returning superstar, but nobody knows who it is. I can tell you this: the Honky Tonk Man and Jimmy Hart are not happy about the surprise opponent, but I guarantee you they've got something up their sleeve, and it all happens tonight on Superstars, the final stop before King of the Ring. It's going to be an unforgettable action tonight. So the crowd is hot and rising. Our segment got an 89. It advanced all of our storylines. Jesse Ventura did a masterful job improvising the interaction with the crowd. The angle got the crowd hotter, and it started our show off strong. So let's head to our first match of the night. In a decent match, the Twin Towers defeated the Nasty Boys in 11:39 when Big Boss Man pinned Brian Knobbs with his sidewalk slam. Keem was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody. The crowd heat is hot. The wrestling rating was a 64. The crowd rating is a 56. The segment got a 72. Jerry Saggs got a 69. Brian Knobbs got a 67. Akeem got a 53. And the Big Boss Man got a 67. Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs showed excellent chemistry, and they got a tag team specialist bonus. Big Boss Man and Akeem have great chemistry when teaming together. The commentary quality lifted it. Slick did good work at ringside, and Akeem and Slick have pretty good chemistry. So it's a lot of green for this match, which is fantastic. It also boosted up our rating in it to make it a much better one than it could have been. So let's head to our next segment. Oof, that is the worst promo I've gotten from him so far. Jim Duggan, you loud, brainless, flag-waving fool. You walk around here with your 2x4 chanting, ho, like it's supposed to intimidate me. Let me tell you something. Money beats muscle every single time. And tonight, Duggan, you're going to learn a very expensive lesson at the hands of the $1 Million Man. But let's be real. You're not my real gold, Duggan. You're just a stepping stone, because after I embarrass you tonight, I'm coming for Lex Luger in the WWFC Intercontinental Championship. That title is missing something. It's missing class. It's missing prestige. It's missing money. And the Intercontinental Championship deserves to be worn by a man of wealth, power, and greatness. Me. So, Duggan, bring your little piece of wood and your red, white, and blue pride, because when you step into the ring with me, you'll find out exactly what everybody's got. A price. So, the crowd heat at the end is white hot. The segment got a 72, and it advanced the Lex Ted DiBiase storyline. The commentary quality gave it a boost. The color commentary gave it a boost as well. The angle got the crowd hotter. I tried getting Gene back on TV again, because before he was just killing all our segments. And it looks like he's doing it again, because last week Ted DiBiase got a 90, giving us a promo. This week he's got a 72, and the only difference is we got Gene on screen. So I have to figure something out. Gene's got a 92 in microphone, but he's so horrible for some reason. Actually, I think I scripted this promo. I won't tell me anything. Okay, so let's head off to the Jim Duggan Ted DiBiase match. In a wild brawl that had superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Ted DiBiase defeated Hacksaw Jim Duggan in 11:51 by submission with $1 Million Dream. So the crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is an 86. The crowd rating is a 68, and the segment got us a 90. Hacksaw had an 86. Ted DiBiase had an 85. It advanced the Honky Tonk Hacksaw Jim Duggan storyline and the Lex Luger Ted DiBiase storyline. Ted DiBiase benefited from having a hot new move, so I want to check the dirt sheets and see what kind of went wrong a little bit here. Why this didn't get penalized for stamina. And the segment was capped due to a short match length. Well, we can only go so long with these kind of matches, so it is what it is then, I guess. Okay, let's head to our next segment. Ultimate Warrior, the time for games, the time for all your insane rambling and your so-called power of the Warriors. It's all coming to an end because in 2 days at King of the Ring, I'm putting the final nail in your coffin. You and I, we've been at war for far too long. And every time we step into the ring, I prove to the world I am the better man. I out wrestle you, I outthink you, and I sure as the hell outclass you. But you, Warrior, you keep coming back, you keep crawling, scratching, hanging on to whatever little false hope you have left. But this time, Warrior, there's no comeback, no miracle, no ultimate anything. At King of the Ring, I don't just plan to beat you, I plan to end you once and for all. When the final bell rings, I'm going to leave you laying in the middle of that ring, broken, beaten, and humiliated. And when you finally wake up, you're going to realize that the Ultimate Warrior is finished. And the best part, you'll have to live with the fact that it was all at the hands of the Ravishing One. You'll never forget my name, because after I destroy you, Warrior, I will be remembered as the man who put you down for good. 2 days, Warrior. 2 days, and your ultimate nightmare becomes reality. So the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got an 83. It advanced the Rick Rude Ultimate Warrior storyline. So let's head off to our next match. Not too horrible. And about that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Chris Adams defeated IRS in 10 minutes and 1 second by pinfall with the super kick. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got a 56, the crowd rating got a 45, and the segment got a 66. Chris Adams had a 57, IRS had a 55, the commentary quality lifted the match, and the color commentary gave it a boost. So that's not too bad. So we got Chris Adams getting a victory here over IRS, who really hasn't done much since the split from Ted DiBiase at the beginning of the month. So I figured I'd give him a match, and I want to test out Chris Adams for a little bit and see what happens there. So let's head to the next segment. Oh, listen up, tough guys. For too long, I've been waiting for my shot. Too long, I've been dealing with that Elvis impersonating, greasy-haired, guitar-swinging coward, the honky-tonk man. And every time I get my hands on him, he weasels his way out. But at King of the Ring, there ain't gonna be no countouts, no cheap tricks, no running away, because Honky Tonk Man, I'm coming for that WWFC Television Championship. You've ducked and dodged me long enough, Honky, but there's only so far you can run before you run straight into an old-fashioned, all-American, hacksaw-sized beatdown. You think that guitar is your weapon of choice? Well, tough guy, I got something a whole lot tougher than that, and it's coming straight for your head. At King of the Ring, it ain't about just winning a title. It's about shutting your mouth once and for all. And when it's all said and done, when I drop you with the biggest three-point stance you've ever seen, the only music you'll be singing is the sound of 1, 2, 3. And that's when old Hacksaw stands tall with the WWFC Television Championship held up high above my head. So Honky Tonk Man, shine that belt up real nice, because in just a few days, I'm taking it. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. USA! USA! So, the crowd heat's very hot. The segment got a 73. It advanced the Honky Tonk Man Jim Duggan storyline. The commentary lifted it. The color commentary gave it a boost. So, let's hit our next match. In a decent match, Sergeant Slaughter and Jimmy Snuka defeated the Powers of Pain in 11:55 when Jimmy Snuka pinned the Warlord with the Superfly Splash. In terms of ring work, Sergeant Slaughter was head and shoulders above everybody else. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 59. The crowd rating is a 49. The segment got a 75. Jimmy Snuka had a 63. Sergeant Slaughter had a 76. Warlord had a 46. The Barbarian had a 50. The Barbarian and Warlord have great chemistry when teaming together. The commentary quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave the match a boost, and Slick did good work at ringside. So, let's head off to our next segment. Yep, Mean Gene killing it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just 48 hours away from King of the Ring, where inside this very structure, the WWFC World Heavyweight Championship will be decided in one of the most violent, brutal matches in this sport. A steel cage match between two of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling. Oh yeah, you feel it, Jake? The electricity, the intensity, the final chapter of this war. Dig it! 2 men enter the cage on Sunday, but only one man walks out as the WWFC Heavyweight Champion. And I guarantee you, brother, it ain't gonna be you. Ever since WrestleMania, you've been crawling, slithering, waiting for your moment to take the title from me. But every single time, I've knocked you down. And inside that steel cage, there ain't gonna be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no damn shortcuts. Just me, you, and a whole lot of pain. Oh, Randy, you just don't get it, do you? You think you've beaten me. You think you survived me. You've done nothing but delay the inevitable. I knew this day would come. I've been waiting, watching, studying you, because I knew that inside that cage, all your madness, all your energy, it means nothing when there's nowhere left to run, and it's just you and me and Savage. I don't just want your title. I want you to see the look in your eyes when you realize you can't escape. I want you to feel your breath get weaker as I squeeze the life out of you. You call yourself the Macho King, but at King of the Ring, you'll be just another victim locked in that cage with the devil himself. And the devil always wins. You want to take me out? You want to end the Macho King? Then bring it, Snake. I ain't afraid of you. I ain't afraid of no cage, and I damn sure ain't losing this title to a low-down, backstabbing, no-good piece of trash like you. You're gonna get everything you want, Savage, and so am I. See you in hell. So, the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got an 81. The Savage Robertson Perfect storyline has advanced, and Macho King came across well. So, let's head to our next segment. In a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, the Honky Tonk Man defeated Coco Beware in 9:21 by pinfall with the shake, rattle, and roll. The match, Honky Tonk Man makes defense number 11 of the WWFC World Television title. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 53. The crowd is a 49. The segment got a 68. Honky Tonk Man had a 62. Coco had a 45. It advanced the Honky Tonk and Jim Duggan storyline. The creative finish was a success. The commentary quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave it a boost. Jimmy Hart did good work at ringside, and Coco is back. He is now not injured anymore. He was injured for 2 or 3 months or so. He had a cranial fracture, so he couldn't wrestle. So he is making his re-debut tonight. In a losing effort, unfortunately. I mean, the Honky Tonk Man wouldn't have put him over for the title anyways. But he is now back, and we are going to see what Coco can do. So let's head to our next match. Or our next segment, sorry. Oof, I didn't think that was going to go over well. Since the moment I stepped into WWFC, I have fought with honor, strength, and fire. And now I stand undefeated, one step away from the King of the Ring finals. Paul Orndorff, you are a strong fighter, a dangerous man, but so am I. I have battled warriors from all over the world. I have fought with pain, with fire in my heart, and I've never backed down. This tournament is my proving ground, Paul. You may call yourself Mr. Wonderful, but at King of the Ring, there will be no escape from the burning lariat. I did not come to WWFC to be second best. I came here to fight, to win, and to show the world the true fighting spirit is. This Sunday, I will defeat you, Paul Orndorff, and then I will go to the finals and become the king of the ring. And when I do, the whole world will know that Kenta Kobayashi is unstoppable. So the crowd heat's very hot. The segment got a 65. It advanced the Sergeant Slaughter Paul Orndorff storyline and the King of the Ring. Gene Okerlund benefited from having a hot catchphrase. Kenta was held back because of a language barrier. And Gene is getting better at his gimmick. So I'm going to have to find a manager for Kenta if I'm going to let him cut promos. I thought something like this was going to happen. But it's okay. It's not that bad. We can definitely make it up somewhere down the line. So let's head to the last semifinals of the King of the Ring. In a decent match, Paul Orndorff defeated Kenta Kobayashi in 9:39 by pinfall with the pile driver. This match was a part of the King of the Ring. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 67. The crowd rating is a 63. The segment got a 78. Kenta had a 74. Paul Orndorff had a 60. It advanced the Slaughter Orndorff and the King of the Ring, and the commentary quality lifted it, so that's much better. So now the finals are set. At King of the Ring, we will see Rick Martel take on Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff to see who will become the King of the Ring. So let's head to our next segment here. Nick Bockwinkel. Oh, hang on. Nick Bockwinkel, you used to be a man people feared, a so-called legend in this business, but somewhere along the line you got soft. You lost your edge, and now you're just a relic trying to hang on in the Larry Zbyszko era. And tonight, I'm going to give you a lesson. I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to win matches when I step into the ring and beat Lex Luger, a so-called fighting champion, in a non-title match. You see, Bockwinkel? You've forgotten how to win. You've forgotten how to outthink, out-wrestle, and outmaneuver your opponent. And that's why I own you. So sit back and watch closely, Nick. Take notes, because tonight, when I outclass Lex Luger in the middle of the ring, it's going to be just another reminder that I am better than you, smarter than you, and when the time comes, I will end you. So the crowd heat's very hot. The segment got an 84. It advanced the Nick Bockwinkel Larry Z storyline. So let's head to the match. In a good match, Lex Luger defeated Larry Zbyszko in 12:03 by pinfall. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 73. The crowd rating is a 76. The segment got an 83. Larry had a 66. Lex had an 80. It advanced Lex and Ted DiBiase's storyline, as well as Nick and Larry's storyline. And Larry was really off his game. I wonder what he would have got had he not been off his game. So let's head to the next segment. Not too bad. Oh, whoops. Oh, come on. Rougeaus, you've been running your mouths talking about how we can't beat you, how you're the greatest tag team in the WWFC. But in 2 days at King of the Ring, all the talk ends. Because when the Road Warriors step into the ring, we don't just beat teams, we destroy them. Oh, what a rush, Rougeaus. You two pretty boys have had your fun dancing around with those belts. But let's be honest, you've been running scared this whole time. You know deep down, you don't belong in the ring with the baddest, meanest, most dominant team in the wrestling history. And now your luck's run out. At King of the Ring, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And when the bell rings, we're going to break you in half and take what should have been ours all along, the WWFC Tag Team Championships. So shine those belts up real nice. Because when we're done power bombing, clotheslining, and crushing you into the mat, those titles are coming home where they belong. Rougeaus, you better kiss those belts goodbye, because after King of the Ring, all you're going to be kissing is the mat. Oh, what a rush. So the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got a 77. It advanced the Rougeau Road Warrior storyline. Road Warrior Animal and Paul Ellering have great chemistry. Road Warrior Animal angle idea I used was a success. And the commentary quality lifted the segment. So let's head off to our main event. Oh, boy. In a bout that had superb wrestling and good heat, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Ultimate Warrior, and the Road Warriors defeated Rick Rude, Macho King Randy Savage, and the Fabulous Rougeaus in 1404 when Jake pinned Raymond with the DDT. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is an 87. The crowd rating is a 76. And the segment got us an 82. So the Macho King had a 90. Rick Rude had an 84. Raymond had a 77. Jacques had an 83. Road Warrior Hawk had an 81. Animal had an 89. The Ultimate Warrior had a 96. And Jake the Snake had a 94. So it advanced all three of our storylines. Road Warrior Hawk was really off his game. Jacques and Raymond have good chemistry with Jimmy Hart. Animal has good chemistry with Paul Ellering. The match got the crowd buzzing, and Rick Rude is getting better at his gimmick. So that's fantastic. So let's finish off the show. We got an 84, and it increased our popularity in 6 regions. Boy, oh boy. I guess we could have did a lot better in a few spots here, I guess, that increase it. I mean, the main event could have did a lot better. So let's head off to our final portion of the show here. So 666,000. The pop. We're getting there in Canada. Okay, so that is everything for this episode. I will see everybody at King of the Ring.